Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally affects almost all of us, the dark side of social media. Think about it. Every single day, billions of us just open these apps, swipe down to refresh, and fall right into the scroll. But, we usually do this without even realizing we're stepping into a meticulously designed system. So let's peel back the layers of our screens together and figure out what's really going on behind the scenes. Trust me, once you see these hidden mechanics, you're probably never going to look at your feed the same way again. It's kind of a massive paradigm shift. We normally think of the app itself as the product, right? We download it, we use it, we consume the content. But what if the platform isn't the product at all? What if, actually, your focus, your time, your attention, what if those are the actual commodities being sold here? When you really stop and think about it that way, you realize something pretty crazy. You aren't the customer. You're the inventory. And honestly, it goes way deeper than just business. What if every single swipe, every double tap, every autoplay video is literally rewiring your neural pathways? Today, we're going to explore the real neurological impacts of our daily digital habits. But okay, before we get completely lost in the brain chemistry, let's first trace how this whole psychological hook builds into a massive, multi-billion-dollar global industry. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the attention economy and its hidden mechanics. So, to really understand our digital lives, we absolutely have to unpack those hidden mechanics first. Enter the attention economy. This is basically a business model where social media companies make their money directly off of, you guessed it, user attention. Think of it like digital real estate, where your screen time is literally the most valuable plot of land on the market. Since these platforms profit by selling targeted ads, their ultimate #1 goal is just to keep you online for as long as humanly possible. For these companies, it's a super simple equation. More screen time equals more advertising revenue. Literally every second you look away is a fraction of a cent lost. So how exactly do they keep you looking? Well, it's basically a highly engineered addiction machine. First up, you've got the infinite scroll. This completely removes natural stopping cues. There's no bottom to the page, no endpoint telling your brain, hey, time to move on. Second, push notifications. These act like tiny digital tugs on your sleeve, yanking you back in the absolute second you try to leave. And third, the big one, the dopamine hit. Features like autoplay and the total unpredictability of getting likes on a post trigger these rapid reward loops in your brain. It's exactly what keeps us swiping until we just completely lose track of time. Moving right along, let's look at Section 2, the illusion of perfection, focusing on fake lives and filters. Let's shift gears from the back-end engineering to what we're actually staring at on our feeds every day. Because let's be real, there is a massive, massive gap between what we see and what's actually real. On one side, we have this perfect highlight reel. Influencers and even our friends are constantly showcasing only their absolute best moments. And usually, those are amplified by intense photo editing and some incredibly sophisticated beauty filters. Then, on the other side, we have actual reality. Consuming all this highly curated perfection just creates wildly unrealistic expectations. It puts this relentless pressure on everyday users to appear absolutely flawless. It's a standard that literally doesn't exist offline, and yet we are constantly holding ourselves to it. Which brings us to a really serious topic in Section 3. The mental health crisis and the true cost of all this. You just can't separate that constant illusion of perfection from the symptoms we're seeing pop up all over the globe. It's a staggering paradox, right? People are experiencing deep, profound loneliness despite having thousands of followers. We are more connected than at any other time in human history, yet we are facing a massive mental health crisis. This whole comparison culture and the constant FOMO, the fear of missing out, it just breeds severe anxiety and depression. People are feeling incredibly isolated, even when their pocket is literally buzzing with hundreds of digital interactions. And if this is tough for adults to navigate, just imagine the impact on young, developing minds. It's honestly profound. This constant, rapid-fire content leads directly to noticeably reduced attention spans. Then you've got the blue light and late-night scrolling causing severe sleep problems, which, as you'd guess, inevitably leads to declining academic performance. But perhaps most tragically, that comparison culture we were just talking about, it is heavily linked to severe self-esteem issues, right during the most formative, vulnerable years of their lives. We also really have to talk about the darker interactions here. Online harassment and anonymous hate comments are just rampant. Because people can hide behind glowing screens and fake usernames, that normal social empathy filter, it's just completely gone. And this goes way beyond just, rough socialization. This causes lasting emotional and psychological damage to users of literally all ages. Let's zoom out a bit for Section 4, Privacy and Misinformation. We're calling this the data illusion. So, zooming out from the individual level to the macro level impact on society. Remember that attention economy we talked about earlier? Well, to fuel that, these apps need data, constant data. In fact, privacy on social media is largely just an illusion. To serve up those hyper-personalized ads that make all the money, these platforms function almost like digital stalkers. I know that sounds harsh, but they're quietly tracking your physical location, monitoring your searches, and analyzing literally every single click, pause, and swipe. Your personal data is the actual fuel running their algorithms. And because these algorithms are designed to reward engagement above everything else, they'll often push sensationalism way over actual facts. The terrifying reality here is that false information spreads significantly faster than the truth. It's like wildfire. And today, this fake news is being supercharged by AI-generated content and incredibly realistic deepfakes. The societal impact of this is immense. It manipulates public opinion and completely obscures reality, making it harder and harder for any of us to determine what is actually real anymore. Okay, let's pivot to something a bit more empowering in Section 5, taking back control and reclaiming your digital autonomy. Now, let's all just take a deep breath because we are not powerless here. It's absolutely crucial to acknowledge that social media can be a totally powerful force for good when we use it intentionally. I mean, we can learn brand new skills, we can build entire businesses right from our living rooms, and we can effortlessly stay connected with family members across the globe. It provides massive education and career opportunities, and it's basically an unparalleled tool for raising awareness for causes that matter. The tool itself has amazing potential. It's our relationship with it that needs a little fixing. So how exactly do we fix that relationship? Well, here is a highly practical digital detox plan that you can literally start today. First up, reclaim your time. Use your phone's built-in limits to cap your daily screen time, and for goodness sake, mute those unnecessary push notifications so you decide when to look, not the app. Second, curate your environment. You have to catch yourself when you start that endless scrolling zombie mode. Unfollow accounts that drain your energy and replace them with positive, educational creators. And finally, disconnect to reconnect. Take full-on digital detox days. Leave the phone in another room. Go spend real, actual time with friends. Read a physical paper book, or get outside and exercise. You've got to physically break that dopamine loop. Ultimately, it boils down to this. Social media isn't evil, but using it without awareness, that can cost you your time, your focus, and even your happiness. It is all about awareness. Once you know exactly how the machine works behind the curtain, you completely regain the power to choose how you interact with it. So the question isn't whether social media is trying to control our attention. Come on, we know for sure that it is. The real question is, are we willing to take back control? I really hope this explainer empowered you to view your digital habits through a totally new lens. If this opened your eyes and helped you understand the mechanics operating just behind your screen, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're going to be back with more content designed to help you think smarter and live better. Thanks so much for joining me today, and hey, go enjoy the real world for a bit.